Parkour by a robot. Team from Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Lab in Korea Southern designed, built, and successfully tested four-legged a robot that is able to perform parkour maneuvers at high speed. Researchers gave their robot the ability to plan and track their own movements, which allows him to move freely in different types of terrain. In an article published in the journal Science Robotics, a group of scientists from Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Lab at Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology describes work on a four-legged robot capable of performing parkour maneuvers at high speed. In the publication of researchers, they presented a navigation system for robots moving on their feet, which helps them navigate in difficult terrain and allows them to move with a large speed. The system consists of a planning module and a tracking module. Parkour is a type of physical activity that involves overcoming obstacles, mainly in cities, in a quick and sophisticated way. It is in climbing the walls, jumping between different obstacles, maneuvering around the objects and running on difficult, uneven terrain. The goal is moving from one place to another in a quick and effective way, and of course no injuries. Parkour requires speed, dexterity, and quick decisions made. Designing your robot to overcome various urban obstacles, the researchers gave him an advantage over man 4 legs. They also designed and built a special type of controller that is able to plan the route to overcome and shows the robot where to set foot and how balance with your robotic body to move forward safely. The planning module is designed using a network neural that was first trained and then used to generate and continuously update the map. This map has been used not only to plan the route through the area, but also to determine where the robot is exactly to set its feet to reach the target. The module is connected with cameras and sensor network. The robot is also equipped with tracking module whose task is to accurately perform the module tasks the planner. Engineers named their robot Rabo. For a start, they conducted simulations to see if the robot components are working in accordance with its destiny. Then they placed Rabo in various test environments lab to check not only how it does, but also to examine his ability to map and set a course. It turned out that Rabo is perfect response to changing obstacles and adjusts your movements depending on the area. Tests have shown that Rabo is a pretty good tracerum, like it is called men practicing parkour. Can perform various things the evolutions. It can walk on ramps and stairs, enter various obstacles and come down from them or run on a track lined with stones. It can use vertical surfaces on your way and move around them and even jump on distance of 1.3 meters. All this with high speed and precision. The team is still working on the robot. Scientists have already built and they started testing Rabo 2, looking for ways to improve its capabilities. According to the opinion such a robot can be used in rescue operations in zones, disasters or other difficult environments. The coverboard from the donkey scares the ticks. A new discovery could lead to natural and effective remedy against ticks. Scientists have shown that the compound Bisphenol argilosus effectively repels the ticks and can be a natural alternative to other appeals. Ticks are grooving stunty arthropods found all over the world. These small arachnids are considered one of the most dangerous animals, because they can carry many pathogenic microbes, and on meeting them is potentially exposed to every person who spends time on them at bosoms of nature, even on a plot, a backyard garden or in a city park. The use of tick repellents is not always effective. An innocent walk in the forest or park, there may be unpleasant consequences for us. The most dangerous from tick-borne diseases: Lyme disease and tick-borne encephalitis, KZM. Borreliosis occurs more often, but it is easier to detect. In addition, it is a milder disease, prone to effective treatment with antibiotics. According to many experts, KZM is more dangerous. They are caused by a neurotropic virus, which is treated only symptomatically. It can trigger, among others, inflammation of the brain, meninges, spinal cord, or roots the nervous one. But not every tick bite causes Lyme disease or another the disease. Nevertheless, you need to be careful and apply protection measures. Among them, one of the most effective are those containing DEET or permethrin. Permethrin is limiting the ability to move ticks and bite. DEET repels ticks by giving off an unpleasant smell to them. Both are safe when they are used as directed, but these are not mild agents and are not always its effective. In a recent study, researchers from the University of Massachusetts Amherst found that a naturally occurring compound secreted through the skin of donkeys effectively repels adult ticks of the species Ixodes scapularis, the most common tick in the USA. This species is responsible for the spread of Lyme disease, anaplasmosis, and Babe shine, or bacterial infections that can sometimes cause severe and long-lasting diseases. The results and description of the research appeared in the journal PLOS 1. Different species of ticks choose different hosts. The donkeys do not. They are specially liked by ticks because their sebaceous glands produce secretions that keep their skin moisture and contain allomones, chemicals that favorably affect owners, but repellent whether it affects the behavior of other species of plants and animals. Previous research has shown that ticks that are fond horses, they won't even get close to them when their smell is masked by a compound secreted by the skin of a donkey, known as octuenol. This one of the smells that can be felt in a donkey that cannot be felt the horse. Therefore, the horse does not smell like a host to whom he is accustomed. The tick. Ticks don't like it, so they won't feed on it. Our assessment that we can scare the ticks with this compound, it means in theory, we could put it on yourself or on dogs, and the ticks won't want to get close to us, said Eric Siegel, the chief. The author of the research. In the lab, Siegel and the team showed that they could prevent movement of ticks from point A to point B when between points a compound from the skin of a donkey will be placed. It was just as effective, or more than DEET, and even more effective for male ticks like a female, Siegel said. Scientists collaborate with GearJump Technologies to develop tick repellent with a donkey garlic as a compound. It's active. In addition to the effect of tick repellent, the secretion can be transformed into something that could control the tick population. Sydney Kakadu learned to serve public distributors with drinking water. The Kakadu from Sydney, Australia, learned to operate public fountain distributors with water to drink. Behavior is never seen before. The bird appears to spread among the cocoa throughout the city. Sydney residents in Australia have been complaining for a long time on cocoa, yellow rock earb or golden chew, Caucachua galerita. The birds of these first, they learned how to open garbage cans, and search the food. People make it harder for them in different ways to avoid cleaning after the birds. These birds by the people of Sydney are considered a nuisance, a pest, because they eat crops and do not allow them to sleep at night with their excruciating with the ears with squeaks. After assimilating the knowledge about opening containers to garbage, cocoa have learned to operate fountain distributors for drinking. Scientists, thanks to photo traps set up around the city, noticed that birds they make some complicated moves to start the water stream, and only then they lean over to drink. The observation was published in the journal Biology Letters. Kakadu is an extremely intelligent and curious bird. They can use the urban environment to get them needed the resources. They are also sociable. They live in herds of hundreds of individuals. Coco living in the west part of Sydney learned to drink with designed for people of public water dispensers. Behavior is the first. It was spotted once in 2018. The Kakadu lined up in the fence to make it use the drinking fountain located at the sports field. Researchers alarmed by a new birding skills, they installed photo traps in this place and recorded on recordings as birds use fountains, the water dispensers. Opening the valve requires some skills and coordinated sequences of movements. A team of scientists has registered like these clever birds grab the distributor valve and carry the weight of their body to turn it through. The researchers observed more than 500 trials in 44 days and discovered that about half of the attempts to open the water jet were successful. According to the opinion, about 70% of the local population tried this maneuver. Researchers suggest that the spread of innovation behaviors that can solve certain problems can be possible adaptive reaction in a rapidly changing urban environment. According to scientists, this behavior probably began from one bird that learned this technique by observing people, and then try it yourself. Over time, other birds picked up on this innovation, and drinking from fountain distributors has spread to other districts of the city. Researchers also observed that individual cocoa have separate styles in the way the dosing is used. They could be inspired by the first individual to master the new skill, but individually developed the details of their technique by trial and error. This behavior is common and well established in local bird population. Some birds have full knowledge and others they're still learning. This suggests it has spread to form local tradition drinking in the area, said Lucy Aplin of the Australian National University, co-author of the publication. Kakadu used distributors at similar times of each day, regardless of the weather. This suggests that birds use them as regular water sources, not just a spare one when conditions are difficult. It is not entirely clear why Coco has learned to do complex enough things to get into the water, since there are other sources available in the city. They can even stand in a queue to get to the drink. Scientists suggest that birds prefer the taste of water from the distributor. The other concept is that they feel safer with the distributor in the open space, where you can see potential risks better. There may be an element in this too, fun. What's more, Brisbane's people too, they spotted the Coco using the city's pits. These birds do not migrate, so the Coco from Brisbane could not learn this trick from the herd from Sydney. It is up to 5 points that bird populations from 2 different cities have independently learned use water dispensers. Scientists wonder what Coco will invent the next together. I would like to know more about what else they have in store, Barbara Klump, the main author of the publication, said.